Chicago, Jimmy Garoppolo's hometown, and fittingly, news about Jimmy Garoppolo has just dropped, courtesy of Sean Reed at The Athletic. Turns out that Jimmy Garoppolo had to have foot surgery back in March after he signed with the Las Vegas Raiders. That obviously traces back to the foot fracture that he suffered that ended his 49ers tenure back in December. So, first takeaway, a lot of people that bought into the very obviously at the time fake report that Jimmy Garoppolo refused to play in the NFC Championship game even though he was healthy. A lot of people look bad for buying into that. That obviously wasn't credible, and Jimmy Garoppolo wasn't healthy enough. Otherwise, he wouldn't need to be having surgery in March. So boy, and on the larger picture, Jimmy Garoppolo just can't catch a break, or I guess he's catching too many breaks, pun intended, because, I mean, it looked like at least he would have a clean offseason with his new team, right? He'd be able to participate in OTAs, but he's out of OTAs right now with the Raiders because he had to have that surgery in March. So tough break for Jimmy Garoppolo. I think it's very likely that this happened because he was actually pushing himself too hard to come back for the 49ers. It was a rush. Remember, the timetable was really tight, and there was initial debate whether or not it was a Liz Frank injury, which would have kept Garoppolo out for 6 months. He wasn't out for those 6 months. He was only out, or supposed to be out, for a few weeks. But it all ended up not working out because he had to have that surgery. So I feel that at some point, Kyle Shanahan was adamant in December that there was no ligament damage, that no surgery would be needed. At some point, that surgery became necessary. And I think if you just practice the process of deduction, it happened because Jimmy Garoppolo was pushing himself a little bit too hard in that rehab to try to get back. That's my speculation, but that's what the timetable and the clues do suggest.